Hello. So I decided to do this video because I get calls every day asking what is biofeedback? How does it work? How is this possible? And I thought, okay, I'm going to do a quick video. This is not meant to be a very thorough historical video, but this is enough to give you enough information to feel like you can understand this technology. One thing that I would suggest, a couple things that you can Google and study to learn more is look at quantum physics, look at Dr. Bill Nelson, who is the scientist that developed the specific machine that I use, which is the Skio. So that little box, which is so awesome, connects to the computer. And if you're here in person, you have armbands, leg bands, and a headband that connect to you. And then what happens is frequencies are ran to the body or emitted to the body, and then it's kind of like frequencies bounce off the body and it gathers information. It feeds that information back into the machine, which spits out a really gorgeous 36-page report to give you information that you can now think with. Gives you an idea of, okay, here are the things that are going on in my body. Now, what biofeedback is measuring is stress. So, a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, when we were out there hunting for our own food and in a very hostile environment, our bodies were created with survival mechanisms that were called stress. If we were out there hunting for food and all of a sudden a lion came charging, the hairs would stand up, the blood pressure would elevate, the adrenaline would kick in, and these were specific responses to cause us to either flee or fight. And once we fled or once we fought, then those systems would go, they would relax, they would go back to normal, and we would no longer have adrenaline and fear and all of these things going on inside. Well, in today's society, it's a bit different. First of all, we don't have to go out there and kill our own food. It's very easy to just walk into the grocery store. But when we have situations that happen, like someone cutting us off on the freeway, or our boss saying or doing something that really ticks us off, we have those very similar responses that take place in the body. Adrenaline kicks in, the heartbeat raises, the blood pressure raises, but the only difference is, like in the case with your boss, you're not going to get into a fight with your boss. You want to keep your job. So we don't shut it off the same way that we have in the past. We have this fight or flight syndrome kick in, but then we don't have the relaxation stage afterward so that the adrenaline levels go down, fear dissipates. We don't have that. So what happens is the body is in constant overwork. Internally, we have stressors that are kicking in constantly every day, and they never shut off. And they are over developing and over secreting certain hormones and responses in the body that actually cause breakdown and imbalances within the body that can turn into disease. It's very interesting. There was a report done recently that estimates 70% of all diseases that Americans and human beings around the world are suffering from stem from stress. So wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to find out where these stressors are? Wouldn't it be wonderful to see where the imbalances are in the body? How much more intelligent would your plan for health and wellness be if you knew the sources of the imbalances and the stress in your body. You know, the plan can only be as good as the information that is attached to the disorder and imbalance in your body. So this is a wonderful, very intelligent tool. So now, when you get ready to do your biofeedback, when you decide that you're ready to have a biofeedback session, there's a couple of things that you need to know. First of all, this is meant to be done in a state of rest, not necessarily sleep, but in a restful position, free of negativity, free of activity. You know, you don't want to have a bunch of people around having a party, arguing in conversations, definitely not at work, definitely not in front of a computer, you know, sitting down or lying down comfortably. You want to make sure you have at least 10 ounces of water before you have your session. You're not going to eat or drink during your session. And remember that frequency travels throughout space. Well, you know, think about how a cell phone works. I can pick up my phone and I can dial 7 digits or 10 digits, depending on where the person is or where I am. And I can get somebody to pick up a phone in Ghana, in the UK, around the corner. This is all done wirelessly. It's all through frequency. So our bodies have their own specific frequencies. Every organ has its own frequency. There's a frequency to a healthy heart, for instance. So biofeedback has over 11,000 frequencies that are being run. So if there's a frequency that's being run, for instance, like a healthy heart, and that frequency runs, but when it runs to your body, it doesn't quite match up. You know, maybe it's a little bit off. That's going to be reported back so that you can look at it and see, oh, there's some imbalance here. There's some imbalance. Where's that coming from? What are the stressors? And then we can begin to re-educate the body, re-educate the muscles. You know, we can begin to re-educate the stressors so that we release the stress from the body so that the body can now be in a state where it can heal itself. We don't heal anything. Biofeedback doesn't heal anything. These bodies are miraculous. They were made to heal themselves if they are in the natural state that they're supposed to be in. If they have everything that they are supposed to have. You know, there are certain vitamins and minerals and amino acids, essential fatty acids that make up these bodies that they need. And when these bodies have what they need, they go into a state of homeostasis, into a state of balance and health. And that's what we want to get to. So once you have your session, which will take 45 minutes to an hour, then you'll have a phone consultation to kind of go over all of the information that we find, which takes another 45 minutes to an hour. And then that information is packaged up and sent to your referring physician, where they will then review all this information and they will compare it to what they have and come up with the exact right protocol for you and for your body to be able to achieve the greatest level of health and vitality possible. So that's what we're here for. That's what we want to achieve with the use of this incredible tool. So I invite you to read more information on the website. I invite you to study, Google, you know, find out all you can on the SCIO machine, that's SCIO. Find out all you can on EPR biofeedback, which is quite different from some other biofeedback methods out there. But find out all you can, and then feel free to contact us to be able to set up your biofeedback session. So thank you very much for allowing me to share today. I am Dr. Hanan Islam, and until next time, I'm out.